Hi everyone, so today we're going to discuss Aries season, which is from the 20th of March until the 19th of April. I'm also preparing our weekly astrology, so that will be going out. I'm making my notes here. We've got major themes coming up this week, but they should all be positive. So we've got the new moon, then we've got some movement on the 23rd, we've got some movement on the 25th, and then that sort of wraps up the end of the month before we hit April. But we're deep in Pisces season at the moment. I'm not going to discuss that. I'm going to leave that for our astro so that we purely focus on Aries season, what it means, what it can mean for us, what would be our focus. And we need to make sure we don't mix this up with Aries new moon, because they're both sort of, there's only a day apart, which is good. I'm going to discuss that in the astro as well. So for the UK and US, it's 20th of March until the 19th of April. Australia, because of their time zone, it's the 21st of March until the 19th of April. What can we expect during Aries season? So Aries season in general is more or less the astrological new year. And it makes sense because we're hitting spring, things are starting to born again. Even, you know, a lot of people try to get pregnant during this time. There's the Easter bunnies, Easter chicks. Everything's just, you know, the worms have been underground. Slowly you've been seeing them come up, sometimes in Feb, in March. And everything's starting to blossom and there's a complete rebirth. And the weather shifts as well, so it kind of makes sense because, you know, January time is very stagnant. We're still in winter. We're trying to focus on the new. Whether the planets and astrology support us, that's, you know, probably a different question, and that's why we look at Aries season in April kind of like a rebirth, the new. So during Aries season, obviously it's a fire element. You're gonna and there's quite a lot happening in Aries already. We've got Jupiter in Aries, we've got Chiron conjuncting Jupiter. I'll discuss in the astro again, but if you've seen the astro readings, you'll know that there's a lot that's been in Aries. There's Venus in Aries has just moved out in Taurus and she feels much happier. So what can we expect? We should be expecting to feel motivated, driven, passionate, optimistic. And Aries is quite a self-focused sign, so you're going to be very focused on what you want and your determination, inspiration. That's sort of the energy of the season. It's going to be focused, like I said, on yourself, your dreams, your goals and desires. We're probably going to be feeling and pulled to take direct action and dive first towards our goals and dreams. Enthusiasm is a big word, and motivation will be heightened this season, and we'll have more courage and confidence to go out and conquer our goals. Now there's an element of where there will be a boost on this as well. I'll discuss in the Astro Weekly. Make sure you tune in with the live premiere we'll do. I'm thinking to start doing them live once we build a bit more on the channel, because then we can do a little Q&A as well. But definitely on the energy check-ins, I'll start doing them live so that we can have a back and forth. But I digress, as I'm trying to stay, I have my notes to stay on par, but I digress a little bit. I guess it all ties in, doesn't it? So yeah, we're going to feel more courage and confidence to go after our goals. There is going to be that sense of energy that helps us as well, have that feeling and that drive. Obviously, we all have our down days. So if you don't suddenly feel on Aries season on the 21st that you're waking up like a spring chicken, don't worry about it. But there is energy that will support us feeling that, going forward, picking ourselves up. We can expect to feel more passionate and excited about our lives in general, goals, hobbies and passions, and probably open to change and new way of seeing new experiences. As Aries also loves excitement and adventure. With it being a fire sign, it's not something that really wants to always be grounded. Try something new this season. Be spontaneous. If you're feeling a little nig to do that, you are being pulled to do that and you will be supported. So do go after it. If you've been unmotivated for the last few months, I think you're going to feel as soon as the sun moves into Aries. And when I say as soon as, I don't mean as soon as it hits the 20th or 21st of March. You're like, whoa, it might not be, but you will feel at some stage some shift, especially if you're an empath. It's a great time to revisit your New Year's resolution if you did them in January. Recommit to your intentions and dreams. It's also a good time to start new stuff. So if you were thinking to launch a new business, job, project, passion, hobby, side hustle, it's probably a good time to do that. Whilst we're feeling more eager to charge after our goals and make the changes that we want to change, we must be mindful of being impatient, impulsive, and tempered. And I would also say a bit selfish. Selfish doesn't necessarily have to be, I don't mean it in a bad way, but self-focused, and you forget the other things around you, just because that is what Aries is about. I would also say Aries, with it being ruled by Mars, the planet of action and energy, this also helps us with the motivation, but with Mars, it can also make us feel aggressive. So we just need to be careful of that. A major lesson of this season is going to be about learning our emotions, to control our emotions, practice patience and going with the flow. So if you can see, like, you're going to feel like you want to go forward, charge after your goals, but I think we need to be just cautious that while we're doing that, we're not standing on someone else. We're being patient, we're not being aggressive, and we're practicing going a little bit more with the flow when we need to. It is important to channel extra built up of energy of any hot-headedness into healthy outlets such as exercise, especially if you're a fire sign or you've got fire in your charts or Aries in your charts. You're going to probably feel that. Be mindful of not pushing yourself too hard and burning out. So given that I'm a transformation and fitness coach as well and a yoga teacher, make sure your nutrition also supports any extra physical activity that you take part in. Aries asks us to take action towards our goals, but it does not have to be a race. The season is nice, it follows on nicely from Pisces season, which is brought for the vision where we dreamed and spent thinking about our goals. There was a lot of purging as well in Pisces season. And I think we will feel that shift of a more positive state, especially if we found February and March quite difficult. I also am hoping that it removes any blocks of stagnation where we've had, let's say you're looking for a job, things start to open up. Aries season also asks us to prioritize ourselves and reminds us it is okay to put our needs first. Just be mindful of that, but it's important to honor that as well, as with it being Aries. I think there's an element also to remember that we're not responsible for everyone else's joy or someone else's joy and not our own, because that can be another thing. Because it's self-focused, it kind of brings that, it could bring an epiphany, but it'll bring that to focus that, you know, I've tried to help you, but honestly, now I feel like I cannot help you, and that's because you're starting to recognize yourself. Also be reminded that self-care is not selfish. We cannot pour from an empty cup, so we do need to fill our cup when needed, and it's a season to really focus on us, our goals, but obviously, like I said, avoid the challenging shadow aspect of Aries. So that's that. Now, in terms of, there was one other point I wanted to add on here. It will come to me. So in general, expect to feel motivated, driven, passionate, optimistic. Expect to indulge in stuff that's around your goals, your desires. Aries is a cardinal sign, so you know it's not mutable, it's not fixed, and the opposite of Aries is Libra. And Libra and Aries we're going to shift from Taurus and Scorpio north and south nodes in July to Aries and Libra. So Aries people, I think it's going to be a big year for you if you also have Aries in your north or south node as well. The anatomy of Aries is the head and brain, and keywords obviously after all that is I am. The positive themes are independent, energized, determined, confident, honest, courageous, optimistic, passionate, ambitious. The challenging, the shadow aspects will be impulsive, can be aggressive, impatient, restless, stubborn, blunt, competitive, selfish. So you need to balance those themes out. Focuses are at a time of new beginnings, trying new things, enthusiasm, motivation are heightened. A time to focus on your relationship, yourself, take action towards your dreams and goals, and take time to release the past and focus on the future. So the way I see it is now we're out of Pisces, from Aries to Virgo, this is more like action. You know, where we've had from, I'd say, end of Virgo until the end of Pisces, it's more or less, okay, self-care, but also internal, spiritual, subconscious work. Obviously, we need to get on with our day-to-day routine, but it's not necessarily the action, outward work. This is more outward as opposed to inward of the months we've just had. So I think hopefully it's going to be very positive. I would say now, I'd also say I was going to go through some traits, but I think they're very, you know, sort of known in terms of what I've said. But, you know, like I said, put ourselves first, confident, passionate, fearless, risk-taking, motivated, courageous, always in search of excitement. There could be new love adventures as well, I would say. Embrace challenges, fiery, intense, impatient, impulsive, independent, spontaneous, embraces changes and new personal growth, development, going after our projects and what we're passionate about. So that's it in a nutshell. And I just want to go through some things, like they're not affirmations, but some beliefs around Aries lessons, or the lessons that it's going to give us. Obviously, when this planet shifts during April, we'll discuss what that might bring up. But Aries lessons are like, it's okay to put myself first. Life will always have challenges, but we can overcome them. Self-care is not selfish. We're not responsible for anyone else's joy. What is best for the self is best for the whole. We can always start afresh. I can manifest what I want to desire. I just need to action on it. We can't pour for an empty cup. We have all the unique purpose. We all have like a unique purpose and a unique goal, and that's fine. I have a right to do what makes me happy. So as you can see, they're sort of the positive aspects. Now, just to run through Aries, we said that it's a cardinal sign. It's ruled by Mars. The house is appearance, ego, and action. In terms of the body, it's the head and brain, or mind. It's the first house of the zodiac signs, hence also, you know, the calendar, yes, the astrological year. The sign is the ram, and crystals that would probably go good are probably, you know, carnelian, red jasper, citrine, clear quartz as well, because that's always a good one to have. It's a fire element. So that's a roundup of what Aries can really be about, Aries themes. Remember, if you're feeling some days that you've got so much energy and build up in you, channel that energy into healthy outlets like exercise, or going out in nature, having a walk, just so that you temper that. If you're a water sign, you might not, if you're in a lot of water in your chart, for example, or earth, you might not necessarily feel those that you're having an excess amount of energy in your body, because sometimes that can translate into emotions, impulsiveness. And so if you feel it and you feel you need some outlet, then you can do that through exercise, creative outlets, whatever is going to help you balance that energy. So that's Aries season for us to look forward to. And what you can do is look at how it affects you in your charts. Where is Aries in your chart? If you need help on a natal chart reading, or would you like to know more about yourself and learn more about yourself, I do that. I also do life purpose coaching. So transitioning into, maybe you've got a thought that, what is my life purpose? I don't feel I am in the right place. I don't feel I'm in the right job. I don't feel I'm in the right position. I don't feel I'm doing what I want to do. I have an idea, or I don't have an idea of what I want to do. So I help you in terms of that. We go through your astrology, and also with it being the end of Pisces season, if you need any cord cutting, any light work manifestation rituals, any energy healing, block cutting. In terms of energy healing, I don't just, from the first session, I ask a couple of questions and we do your energy healing. Obviously the majority would be online because I've got clients from all over the world, but we go through what I need you to be present in, not while I'm doing it, but I need you to be present to do some things if you're choosing not to be present while I go through it with you. And there's various, it can be a phone call, or it can be like Reiki infused, where you're actually there when we're doing a video, or I actually do it for you during I look on certain dates that are good for you. If you take a package of this, or a package of the life purpose coaching and natal chart reading, I also look into human design. So I'm not a human design, I don't see myself as a human design expert as my number one role. No, I'm a spiritual coach and teacher, but I believe in, when I do a service, I need to fully understand your body, your thoughts, and also guide you. What would be where is your best setting? What help you understand yourself more. And that's why during the natal chart reading or the life purpose coaching, I do that. And by the way, moving into what you think is your life purpose, or what you're trying to do, or where you're feeling lost, is a difficult situation to be in. I've been there myself. So those are packages that I offer, and they're also one-off sessions. If you want tarot readings, whether it's one-off questions, whether it's to do with certain areas in your life, like 2 questions or a spread, okay? And some people take tarot reading and an energy session, which is by phone, where we discuss what you think your blocks are, what your issues are, what you're going through, and we do a tarot as well. That is also there. If you wanted a monthly spread, a love spread, whatever it is, I do those. So there's various services that I provide. That's on the spiritual coaching side. Obviously, if you're also trying to understand yourself more and, you know, get aligned with your inner and spiritual self as well, I do coaching on that. So there's various stuff, but I would say cord cutting, energy blocks, energy healing sessions that I have 3 different types, 3 main different types, and they're all sort of, one of them will definitely suit you, is a great time going into this new year, as well as, you know, tarot reading and channeling messages that I'll get for you. The manifestations as well, like at the new moon, or if I'm cutting for you, then at the full moon. But it's all light work. So I don't do, if you come to me and say, I want my ex back, and that person's with someone, I don't do that, because I believe what's for you will come to you, but I provide you guidance in the middle. If you said that you want to manifest the right soulmate for you, whatever you say to me, you might say, I want to manifest a soulmate, but I only want them for like 2 years because I just can't deal with longer, or whatever it is. Then that's what we work on, because I'm not doing any negativity towards anyone else. And I don't believe in that either, because I'm a light worker. So there's different stuff. There's also other stuff like cognitive behavioral therapy. I also do like fitness. I'm an advanced certified personal trainer, yoga teacher, breathwork, meditation teacher. So I'm several things, but I just wanted to bring that up, seeing as we're in Aries season. And you can either comment below, or you can send me an email directly. I do have my website, which is also getting revamped. I'm really excited because I'm going to split the services. But yeah, in all, I'm a spiritual transformation and empowerment coach. So if you wanted to work with me, let me know and we can see what we can do. And catch our weekly astrology. There's more check-in messages for your signs coming up. If you're not seeing the shorts that have gone up for each of your signs, just like an intuitive channeled message, do check that out. And I hope to see you on our live premiere for the Astro Weekly that we're going to discuss. Take care. Bye for now.